those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Global Communications Network and the operators of this radio
It's
station.
Love Jones. It's Love Jones. Check us out as we combine our hit music with a love story. Live with Candy. It's Love Jones. Call in and participate at 326-0271 on Global Radio 99.5 FM.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Refugee Camp presents
For all relationships, for regrets, for disagreements, for breaking up and making up, for all those out there jonesing for love, it's Love Jones right here, right now on Global 99.5. Good morning! Good morning! Boom, the bell tolls. I have a feeling that is Magic Mike sliding down the pole. As we await his arrival, good morning. It's a wonderful Wednesday in the neighborhood. You're tuned in to the very best mix of R&B music, home of the Steve Harvey Morning Show. We're Global 99.5. Candy's in with you. Brother D, what's good?
Yeah, everything good. Everything's good.
Excellent. Magic Mike will be along shortly.
Michael, he's banging the doggy police.
Yeah, well, unless you have on the Superman shirt, then he just says, oh,
Yeah. Just
okay. Before I do anything, good morning to our Facebook viewers, as per usual. Happy Wednesday. And of course, you can watch the video live on Global 99.5 FM on our page. We're on Facebook as well as the videos posted later on down YouTube. We're categorized and cataloged so you could watch it there, as well as Love Jones's page. 431-8497 is your text as well as WhatsApp, and 812-1787 is also text and WhatsApp as well.
Clark Kent.
Oh, you and Clark Kent.
I was going to say something, but they got it. They say Ursha, baby.
Let it burn. You burning or you don't have to call. It's okay, girl. You see, you got to run the muscle check.
Yeah.
You see behind the little musculus, underneath the little thing.
What do I?
The grip.
Mm-hmm.
I know good grip, but I didn't. Anyway, yes, very cool Candy at Yahoo or Love Jones Crew at Gmail. Mike, what's going on, man?
All right, cool. What's happening?
All right, here.
So I laid down.
I was thinking maybe they carry you in the overall road traffic situational vibe last evening. You wasn't riding 38. Then road blockages.
Yeah. I saw that. I didn't have one on my corner.
What?
They have one everywhere.
Everybody corner. Everybody corner. All right, I thought you was riding 30 in the Jag, you see?
No man. We good.
I have one to park the bus so quick.
Yeah.
There was they're checking for license and all that.
Everything. If you didn't have your seatbelt on, you went. Yeah. Tints,
the thing about it, that's why when I drive past them in my car, I screw down all my glass because my tints black. But yeah. But the thing is, they've actually, that, as annoying as it is to people, that has helped the police to find a lot of people that they were looking for.
Imaginably so.
A lot. And people would be like,
if you're riding.
People would be like, it's an inconvenience and it's this and the third, and it is, but the police job isn't really to be
convenient.
Kind
of sort of know. Boy, the pettiness from the solid box.
That's his new catchphrase.
Yeah, I'm gonna change it up. That's the thing of everything. What for lunch? I'm gonna change it up. So listen, I got a question for you guys, right? It actually stemmed from someone, like I told you, Mike and I were talking about the 7 deadly, right? Mm-hmm. And the lady wrote in, our Liberian girl. She wrote, the tone of her letters when she began writing in, or her WhatsApps, she was saying that it was a cultural problem between her and her husband, him coming over and her living in the States. There were some other issues as far as children, the raising of, they both have children, long-term relationship turning into marriage, that distance, so many different things, that Americanized way of living versus the African way.
She's Bahamian,
no, she's African.
She's Liberian.
Yeah, and she's moved to the States. Her husband is also African, so they were trying to bridge the gap
with cool.
all of those things.
I thought we were just talking about Michael.
Oh, you do? You're so silly. Pia, na find the way.
That's my blonde moment.
But yeah, truly. So, you know, in the beginning of her letters, the tones had a lot to do with the frustration of, you know, how to make the marriage work. He's not understanding where she's coming from. You know, she was at a point of done, right? Through listening to the show and different conversations that we've had and opening our mind to things. And she said, even with the last one with the 7 deadly, she said she realized that she was guilty of quite a bit of those things. And the relationship was in the state in which it was in, not just because of him, but it had a lot to do with what she was doing. And she said it took her recognizing that, admitting that, and moving towards changing that.
I want to
So-
stop you for 1 second. I want to stop you for a second. Go on, Candy. Go on. I want to stop in the middle of it for a reason, but go on.
Okay,
Candy.
go ahead. Go ahead. I mean,
I just want to say, I mean, like, I gotta, you know, send kudos to her, shout outs, you know, applause, all of it, because it takes a woman
To say that.
so big
Yeah.
to say that. Remember when we spoke to Gigi and Gigi said that she was going through the same things with her husband when she gave her
Mhm.
story, and she was saying it took that epiphany moment where she had to realize, hey, there's a lot that I was doing within myself, and God had to say some stuff to her where she had to accept those things, because you could realize it, but if you're not willing to accept it,
It's the change,
right?
Okay.
and for her to do that, that's
right?
amazing.
Because I told you we were doing the show. That's the one that Dee was in. And she says, good morning. Yes, I believe that. I felt insecure for a long time. And, you know, he gave me some reasons. And that way things were getting better between us. I'm not saying that it isn't still hard, but I'm trying to get over those things. I'm working on me, therefore working on our relationship. There are occasions when, that's when we were talking about the insecurity and the jealousy. She says there were times she could remember video calling because she want to make sure he's where he says he is, you know. She says she realized that 60% of their problems stemmed from her and her ways. It took me quite a minute to accept that, that the bigger problem were the things that I was doing as well as what he was doing that caused the marriage to be where it is. And since I've made that realization and taken away the blame game, things have definitely gotten better. I'd been blind to my own faults and I let that affect me in every which way. I've been guilty of more than one of those deadly sins. I saw only what he was doing and not what I was doing. And it caused him to behave the way that he did because I behaved the way that I did. I wanted to be the man in the relationship, so to speak. I think we as women have to evaluate ourselves and work on us. And I firmly believe that. So, you know, that was one of the things that we had talked about when we did those things, because I think, you know, a lot of times men, women alike, we don't want to own our part in the relationship and realize that actions cause reactions. And that's a big thing. And there's that. Yes. And there's that's happening right there. So I got another writing in, right? And this lady speaks about, she's wondering if our generation is either A, addicted to companionship, or B, if we have an issue where we give up too quickly on people. Let me give you the background on her. She says, deeply religious family, right? And most of the people that married, they've been married a little while, even if they miserable, they in it for the long haul, right? And so she says she wanted to be married, but she didn't want to be miserably so, because she sees some of the older ones, ain't to say they're miserable, but they're just there. You know, the mechanics of it and not necessarily kissing each other, hugging each other, enjoying what marriage is supposed to be. So she figured, okay, when I do this, boy, I get starry-eyed, I get skipping down the aisle. Met someone in love, everything was clicking, working, went to do the daggone thing, right? Her parents say, now you sure? Because you know how we are and what we believe. And biblically, unless there's adultery, unless he beat you to the sixth pulp, yeah, shackle. Yeah, you know, no, you in. No kunta, no renaming. You are in the marriage for good. You see, unless the trampling of you by oxen or goat, you are in this marriage. They tell her that. You sure? We can pay for the wine. We can send out the invitations. You want Lily, Cantaloupe, whatever you want, they can do. But you in. Yeah, man, I love him. And they sit down, they talk to him, and two of them go on the counseling. We grip, ready. 6 months later. Right? She's saying that there isn't any of the things biblically or any of those other things. They just don't get along. They just
How long
don't
were
get
they
along.
dating before they got married?
She said they were dating for about a year and a half, to maybe 2 years. They decided
Did
to
they
get
live
married.
together before they got married?
No. What you hear what I say? Highly religious. Shocking what?
I didn't forget the rolling of the R. Sorry.
Shocking.com. No, there was none of that.
Okay.
And so that was the situation. But she's saying that I guess she didn't realize the grand responsibility of now introducing living together. Because living with someone and just dating and
Yeah.
even sleeping
See what I asked? That's why I asked.
different situation.
Yeah.
So then it was that, and then the responsibilities of no longer boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife now. So that changed, and she said the implementation of all of those things, it is taking a toll. You can't just come home with one piece Kentucky now. You gotta come home
You can give me one
with
piece.
things where
Huh?
you can give me a piece of this leg.
Yeah.
Nah, you can take the bottom because I can need the meaty piece. But this is how this can go.
I was a man, so I gotta get a good piece.
Right? And so she's just saying she just, skipping down the aisle and being in love, she didn't factor in. As mature as she is, she said there were a lot of different things and she had a plan in her mind, but putting that actual into movement with another human being and actually now letting the plan, it looked so good on paper. Boy, but that ink, that tricked me a little
No,
bit.
and that she just didn't factor in the response that she's gonna get from the other person.
Well,
That's two people.
Well, see, now that's what it is. So she's saying now,
So what?
they did the little counseling thing. I mean, I said 6 months later, but it's been a little while after that. But she says they've done counseling, therapy outside of the church. They've done the church with the pastor and whatever. They've done the marital classes. You know how they have the elders of the church. Then, okay, that ain't work. Let's move that to the side. Then they're going to do the therapy, the counsel's therapy. That ain't really working. They tried to hash it out together, done so with the parents, whatever. They're just not getting along. So, her thing is now looking into divorce. And her mommy looking at her with all the 7 glasses on. You forget what you forget?
And she's saying this because she's come from a Christian.
It's
from a Christian.
No, but you gotta understand.
No, but they're saying to her, you believe biblically and all of that, but if your husband hasn't cheated on you and he treats you respectfully,
biblically, there's no,
and y'all just
reason for
rowing
divorce.
and thing, you can't just dip out of marriage like that. And her thing is, I'm not dipping, but marriage shouldn't be this way. This is not what I envisioned. This is not what I want. I cannot spend the rest of my life bickering and carrying on. We haven't introduced children yet, so when children come, that's going to add
Even more.
another heavy dynamic to it. And I just started watching things, and I'm listening to people with videos and stuff and saying that a lot of people in their 20s, I would say 32, their thing was, we make divorce look easier. Okay, we ain't getting along. You come out and on to the next one. The covenants of marriage isn't being
been
respected as it used to be. And then there are others that say, okay, we have talked about that before. Remember, I always say marriage and the covenant of marriage is ordained, but not every marriage is ordained. Sometimes we pick people that would have never been chosen for us, so to speak.
Right.
And that is a lot of times what get us into trouble.
But
So if you pick someone that isn't chosen for you and spiritually and all of these other ways that you should connect and the goals that we talked about yesterday, they don't meet anywhere in the middle, then what does one do? Because she's saying she feels trapped now. So what do we say?
Push.
Mike, really?
my thing,
Yo,
my,
Fritzy.
yeah,
Push.
I understand what she's saying, and I agree with her that marriage should not be miserable. But I also want to be with a parent, and I side more with them than her, because the reality of it is, you chose that man, regardless of whatever.
And they supported her in that
obstacles
choice.
You encounter
Right?
and they asked you, "Are you sure?" You said, "Yeah, mommy." And you can look at me with the puzzle face. That's fine,
Because there's only one surety in this world.
brother. Okay, that's
You
all.
gonna
hold on, hold on.
die.
That's all well and good.
Everything that
Sir,
you do
sir,
is
sir.
a chance.
I let you say push, right?
Sorry.
I didn't do the push. I didn't do the push.
Go ahead.
All right, thanks. So I hear what she's saying, and I agree that she doesn't need to be there, but I don't know what she's gonna do, because the reality of it is, The reality of it is, that's fine too. The reality of it is, if she adheres to the biblical aspects of marriage, even when she marries someone else, she'll be committing adultery. And that's what her parents are looking at. That's what she, as a Christian, I am assuming she is, maybe not, but if she even just adheres to the biblical standards of marriage, even when she leaves this marriage and marries someone else, she will be in a marriage of adultery, point blank.
Why?
Because that's what the Bible tells you. Unless your spouse commits adultery, and that's adultery without reconciliation, there is no reason for you to leave that marriage. You chose that man or that woman. You chose your mate. That's why I'm not married yet. I was engaged 3 times and left 3 times for the same reason.
Why? Because what?
Because as things got closer, I saw that things wasn't working. I didn't get married. If I was married, I'd still been.
I feel you can get married as much as you want.
I agree. If your wife dies or your spouse dead,
But see, again, it all depends on what it is that you.
So you
adhere
should
to.
live a life of misery.
no,
If you're not
she can
happy.
leave the marriage.
Here's
She
the
just-
thing.
If she leaves the marriage, she just biblically, if she leaves the marriage,
but come on,
she just
biblically,
cannot
I
be
mean-
married.
See, but that's the thing, Mike. I hear you, but I think perhaps maybe you're taking that strong side because I think you're more of a spiritual person
Right.
and less more so biblically, and a
Right.
lot of people are. But nonetheless, whether it's biblical or whatever it is that you adhere to, shouldn't the covenants of marriage stand for something?
No,
And I'm not saying that
listen,
you
I-
don't say that it doesn't, but I agree. I agree that one shouldn't live a life of misery, but I also agree that's why we have to be so careful of these
Who we
choices
pick.
that we make when we go into it. And agreed again, a lot of times you are as careful as you want to be, and it still
Candy,
doesn't
Candy,
work out.
Listen to me. I mean, I get that, right? I've been married for 50. I've been married a long time. right?
Yeah, keep it like stay safe because you just could take off a year if you miss and say the wrong. Yeah, long time. You just been long time. That's
Oh wow!
that's a safe answer, bro.
I've been married
That's
for a
right.
while, right?
You did the right thing. Yes, a long time.
And listen, I respect that covenant.
Yeah.
We did it before. We did it in the church. We did it before God,
Mhm,
and it has not always been hunky dory. You have
No.
the
Right.
challenges,
mhm.
but here's the thing. I mean, it's up to the person, the 2 persons,
Mhm.
to make it work. You're gonna have the challenges. You're gonna have situations where you feel this is it. I can't do it anymore.
Okay, you finish?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
My parents have been married 39 years this December.
Mm-hmm.
And I spoke to my parents both separately. And exactly what you said is what it is. Both of us have to make a conscious decision to want to move forward together. You involve persons who, like my parents, who are both Christians, and they adhere to the biblical teachings and what God says and how God has structured marriage and everything else. They say, yes, there are times when physically, as far as emotions and whatnot go, yes, they want to leave because they get fed up, they get frustrated, they get whatever with each other. But then they remember that marriage is not between 2 people, it's between 3. And you have to involve that 3rd person. But that's only if you adhere to those things.
So you have to. So those persons that are not Christians,
They do what they want.
They have successful marriages. What do you say to that?
They got a good pair. I can't say.
Not just that.
I can't say.
But we see. Here's the thing. We talk about that when it isn't a matter of fact of Christianity. I always say that there
It's
are
morality,
Christians
probably.
that aren't moral, quote unquote
True.
Christians,
Very-
not those
very
that aren't moral, and then there are people that have nothing to do with Christianity,
But are moral.
but you understand what I'm
Right.
saying. So morality and commitment has a lot to do with
There you
it.
go. Right.
And so, no matter what, even if it's not the biblical stance, those are the things that keep your marriage
There you go.
together.
Right.
So, if you omit those, either which way, you in problem. And I think for a lot of people that are faith-based, that just gives an extra of a reason, of an incentive, accountability. You understand what I mean as far as the commitment of marriage is concerned. So the question that we're putting forward, whether it's Christian, whether it's spiritually, whatever it is,
atheists, because you have
what-
a lot of atheists who are married
who are
and their
married and
marriages
have
work.
been. So
Right.
what is the glue, or what is it that is causing marriages to fall apart? Because the last time we checked, statistics are not looking good for marriage.
Remember what I think what it is remember what we said last time when we asked that same question. What causes marriages to fall apart is You look at persons who have been married, like my parents, 40 years. Persons who have been married, like Mike, probably like 20 years plus.
What?
Okay.
That was me 20.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you was 20.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
See, so your parents
Okay.
at the top of the totem, I was in the middle.
Mike.
Mike
I
at 40,
trailing.
he's still trailing.
Okay. All right. So,
Catch up, I still running.
the respect, the commitment, everything else that they had, that you guys had for each other, it worked. A lot of the marriages back in the day, they lasted 50 and 60 years because they didn't involve Facebook and WhatsApp and Twitter and all
Can
that.
I be honest,
But
though?
it's different times.
It ain't just that. Let's be honest. How many of I'm sorry, and if your mom and dad are happy, which more than likely they are, kudos to them. But let's be real about it. A lot of the people
they
I've
was
talked
happy.
to, they wasn't. But
No.
stop like
I'm
that.
telling you.
Let's don't fake the
telling
game
you.
like that. It wasn't happy, but Lil Wahal.
You gotta point that. They have Facebook, but it was in the.
Yeah, their face was in the book. I don't want to look at this
Yeah.
other person. That's the Facebook and they was
Do
doing.
it.
I can keep my face buried in this book, so I don't
It's up
got to
the
deal with you.
individual. You know, it's. Listen, I'm a God-fearing person.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I go to church when it's for like a special
Something,
occasion.
yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
like to honor somebody or something. I go to church, but I'm not a regular goer of church.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? The relationship I have between me and God, it's a personal relationship. You
And
know
that's
what I'm saying?
that's
So I don't
paramount.
feel I don't feel I need to go to church. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you whatever. But you know, when the stuff that churches tell you, the dogmatic stuff, the rules, you know, that's what gets me. The thing is, I question those things.
if you
You know, like
as my brethren, if you ask me these questions, I can sort you out. I got you.
no, I ain't got no. I ask myself those questions.
No, but I
got
sometimes you have to ask someone else, because I could ask Candy a lot of questions about certain things, and I'll ask you. At the end of the day, it boils down to this. I was the same way. I used to think that, okay, well, based on this, I don't have to go to church because my relationship with God is between me and God.
Solid.
But then you look at, it's like when I go into a job, if I go to work to the airport, I may know a lot about airline, procedures and whatnot, but I still need to get that advice of someone who's been there longer, someone who knows the ropes. And it's the same for me. It's the same thing when it comes to churches and going to church versus staying home and building a relationship by yourself. It's just getting help, getting information. Sometimes you feel a little shaken. Sometimes you get a little worried. Sometimes you get a little lost in understanding, and it's just about getting that clarity.
Okay, I get where you're coming from, but here's the interesting factor. She comes from that exact background. She's been going.
Mm-hmm.
She had that extra fortitude of her parents and family she's had good as we say, backing as far as marriage is concerned. She's had, the good, the bad, as well as the ugly in there. And all of these things, she was warned, she went through counseling and all of these different things before doing so, did so. And still, with all of that knowledge and all of the information that she got, not just from church, but her family and the support system and all of that, she's still in a failing marriage.
She's conditioned.
To what?
She's conditioned to the way marriage should be, based on what she was taught.
What marriage? What do you mean?
what-
How marriage should be? I mean, a lot of times when people say marriage, when you ask, "What do you want out of marriage?" I mean, one of the first things you get, happy.
Yeah, happiness.
I mean, for a lot of people, they don't even know what that looks like, but they know what it feels like, and at the very least, that's what they're looking for.
Or
I mean,
they do it based,
so
say it based off of what their parents' marriage was and what they perceive to be happiness, because that's probably
happiness is
what it was
different
for
for
her.
everybody.
Yeah.
But there are some people that believe that there is a particular scape that goes with marriage. At this point in your marriage, you should be here. At that point in your marriage, you should have
Right.
The
this. and that,
7 year
and
itch,
next.
like
Yeah,
when you're
it's
7 years, you should. That's the
cheering
point where
and
you
then
should
this and
decide
that.
whether this marriage is going to last another 10 years or not. You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
I heard about the 7-year itch thing, but I didn't know that's what it was.
Well, for some people, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And then
know?
for some people, they start scratching through other things. Like they start dipping, and you know what I mean? There's a lot of
Girl,
things
I
that
mean,
definitely do start happening around
You'd be
that
surprised.
time.
You'd be surprised with a condition.
So my parents have been the 7-year itch, what, 5 times?
Couple times they've been scratching and itching
Yeah.
for years and years and years. But see, that's the question that's come forward. But whether it is about, and see, it all depends on how you look at it, because when we talk about those marriages that lasted 50, 60 years, whether they had the ultimate happiness or not, they had what marriage is ultimately supposed to give, and that's companionship and support
And respect.
and respect. respect and they can love. You can love someone and still not be at that place where you guys are whining and dining.
Correct.
But that doesn't mean that love is missing. For some people, they look at that and that's what they want.
And
They
that's
look for that
happiness.
stability.
Oh,
That's
no, yeah,
happiness.
I don't question
And then
happiness.
other people like yawn, I can't live that kind of life. So it all depends on what you see it altruistically as, what you view marriage, happiness, companionship is. But some people, they just want to know when they turn the key that there is someone that's
Yeah.
there.
You think compatibility is important?
Definitely.
Yeah, buddy.
Yes. Wait. What? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for her, for her.
But strangely, you could have a marriage for a long time and not be
So
really
what-
compatible.
So what do you see compatibility? Same faith?
No.
No.
Uh-uh.
No,
No.
that's
Common
different.
interests. Respect of the interest that you have no interest in. It's just being able to understand the person that you're with, or trying.
Because the interesting part about that is it's so many factors that affect companionship and marriage. Why I say that is when I locked down, I was like 19 going on 20. That so much so changed the things that I wanted and needed from the time of
From then to
20 to even 25. It was a vast difference on the things that I thought were, the things that I imagined marriage to be, that I thought companionship was. I think at 19, 20, with a daddy complex, I was looking for an older man that can kind of guide me and rear me of the things that I didn't know about household, marriage, children, all that.
If only the individual judge.
Boy, that's these people. But then 25, and then it's like, okay, so yeah,
What now?
I don't kind of need the daddy wife no more.
But I think sorry.
you could, and yeah. But then I also had this thing with growing up with my grandmother where she was like, it was like, yeah, you can't, yeah, it kind of is. You was shifted this way though. It was this thing though where my mother's marriage had failed. Grammy didn't have the thing going, and so it was like, okay, I gotta be that forerunner
Yeah.
to keep it together. So sometimes it's so many different reasons why people stay, why people do.
But I mean,
And
what did she
happiness
say?
has nothing to do with
What did
it.
she say is the reason why they fight?
They just don't have the same. I don't know what changed, but over time they just don't have the same. You know how Americans, what is it? Irreconcilable differences. She said that's what it is. Neither of them have cheated on each other. They don't necessarily disrespect each other, but it's a constant state of bickering,
Bro, you feel trapped,
not happy,
emotionally trapped,
not
mentally
yeah. I
trapped,
don't. This
socially
is someone that
trapped.
I may enjoy, but I don't want to be married to you. You know that kind of way. I don't want to be married to you, and
So that's what I'm saying. Like it went from
starry-eyed,
right, a lot of
happy.
them I want to spend the rest of my life with them to. Okay, now that I have you for the rest of my life, you
Yeah,
go
they
ahead.
kind of.
That is so.
Can't put this back on the racket.
Right.
Bias, remorse. And that's what I'm saying. I think a lot of times people are looking for that constant state of companionship. That's why I asked, are we addicted to companionship? It's what we were made for. We were made to be with one another
Can you ever
and
be ready
to
for
be with
marriage,
each
though?
other.
I think so.
Nobody. I think you can be prepared. I
I think so. I think in all honesty,
tell you you be like, wait, Candy, I wasn't ready. I make another call.
and
I can't wait till he's on this panel when he's actually married. Bust up. Solid.
No, I talked to a friend yesterday,
Mhm.
and I just was saying it was weird because him and another friend, it was weird to hear them say that they know they was gonna marry their girl
Yeah.
at that point.
Mhm.
They know, and it's like I just looking at the clock. It's like, how old are they? It's like I don't know. It was just weird. It was just weird hearing them say they know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like I don't know when did you guys with Mike? When did you know Candy? When did you like know? You know, and me, like I don't know when I could know.
What it is, but is that it? Is that a requirement that you know, or is it something that you're supposed to grow into?
I think when they
everybody
say-
got a different to do.
I think when they say
that's a multiple choice question.
yeah, I think when they say they know, for them it's probably about what Candy said,
Probably about-
comfortability. Like because with a person that you say, okay, this is the person I want to marry, you just feel like everything
It just drops
is
into
right,
place.
just in the place. Like you get a new phone, you want text him, hey, I get a new phone. What you saying? Just like it may sound simple.
Isn't
and,
that
you know,
or was it?
it's just-
Did they say once they saw the person, they just knew this was the person?
No, it wasn't that. It was after time, but it's
Right.
like they reached the top to say,
now
I
it's
know,
time.
click, I know. So it's just a matter of time now.
Yeah.
Like I,
They live
I
together?
know. No, well, one of them live together often, but not like
Not
fully.
Not, yeah.
You know?
That'd be a different story.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, so do you need to live together first?
Well,
I think so.
Or maybe
I can lie to you.
honestly,
maybe
me
that's
coming from
that's tomorrow episode. That's a
me
big
coming
thing.
from being married. I know it's against biblical.
It is,
Teaching.
but I listen to me. It
But
is,
do
but I
it.
always
I
Mike,
think
listen to
we
me.
should live
listen
together.
to me. Me and you, I have a shake out on that one.
No,
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 you-
it is.
me and
But
you-
I think
me
you,
and
you
Mike
have
are
to
on
be-
different spectrums when it comes to religion.
yeah, but right, you'll meet right there in the middle.
Yeah.
They're living together.
Because my thing is, you know when they ask you,
Yeah,
did she live with him?
because I don't think
feel as
people
though that's
get it.
important.
Listen, things change because, like I said, when you're going out night, I don't care how often you spend time. Let me tell you, when I had a rude awakening, the hurricane with just
Machu?
yeah, that's when, and it's a difference between being with your mate all the time. You'll spend all your extra time together and whatever. There is still different than going to sleep, waking up, the bathroom and the kitchen and
The
how
living room.
the living room and how, you know, the snoring and the this and that, those things, and leaving the cap off the toothpaste and drinking directly from the milk,
From the jug.
from the jug. See it there? From the jug. Those things, believe it or not, they change
They-
things.
they
People leaving
matter.
underwear
They
on the
matter,
floor,
yeah.
leaving hair in drain. Those are the small things that trigger other larger issues that you would never in your mind think would cause an issue within
yeah.
your. It does, because it leads into so many other things, and who was going to do this, and who can cook, and who can clean, and who people keep coming over, and friends, and yeah, it's a problem. So I know biblically it's not encouraged, but I will advise.
And biblically, it's not encouraged to have sex
Y'all,
before
y'all
marriage.
watch.
you know.
I would
Right?
advise.
It is biblically.
Do you,
Biblically.
do
So
you
we meet-
see
we
the
meet on that one.
words that
Yes,
are
sir.
coming
Yes, sir.
out of my mouth? Yeah, like L-I-V-E.
Candy, alive.
Please.
Me and Dervin.
Alive.
Me and Dervin, we agree on another issue.
What is it?
Have sex before you get married.
Of course y'all do.
Yes. No. I listen to me.
No, see, but this is the thing, and this is
I-
why
the
these
reason,
things.
The reason why I tell
Because if the sex is no good, this,
it's a
this
wrap.
adds
I
another
told
problem.
someone this before. I said,
It's a wrap.
yeah, it's a wrap. It's a
Go,
wrap.
please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before I said, listen to me. The reason why God requires
wrap.
you to be a virgin when you get married,
So you don't know
so
this.
that you
like,
don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
If you're dumb to sex and he's dumb to sex, then when you get together, it's the
yeah,
best sex
everybody
in the world.
exploring. Yeah.
And you learn together. But in this age where everyone is, where it's difficult to find a virgin now.
Also,
What is it?
it takes longer to get married.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't just say, "Hey, how you doing? We married next."
But here's the thing. But okay, so let's ask that question, because remember back in the day, there wasn't all this period of 1 year, 2 year. But we meet in a month, you meet the parents that other month, and by the third month, we
Yeah.
getting married.
Daddy, show you.
Right,
Daddy,
3
show
to
you.
6 months.
shot,
A year
That's
the
it.
most.
Yeah.
This can be.
A year the most. You make it a year.
sampling the pumpernickel
No,
and
you
the
don't-
wheat in and that.
She can cook for you.
Yeah, you can taste her hand,
She can play teammate.
and that's it.
But
But
no-
don't look for nothing beyond
You don't
that.
drive no car.
And ain't no 90-day rule. It's
No.
farm to field rule.
That's it, and that's what it is. So there'll be no milking of any kind of cow.
No.
You see it and the tastiness thereof.
What year that
But
was?
they'll be. But listen to me. On the island,
I bought
sometimes
it- I
they
bought
still
it
into that.
Yeah, that was a while ago,
Then
right?
I'll go- but see, again, you got to ask: is all the additives that we're putting into it, all of the things that we're doing beforehand, is it causing more damage
Remember what you
than
said?
it is good?
You said, she said on the show before, she said, what a part of the problem is now we want to fall in love and then marry. Back then, they married and then you fell in love because you married your friend. You married someone that was just
In
cool.
certain countries,
whatever.
they still
And
do
they still do
it,
that. I watched this thing on National Geographic. I think I told Candy, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But in one country in Africa, they make these mitts. They have these ants.
Oh, with the fire ants in it.
The ants are about as big as a termite, and they stick the head of the ant through the mitt in a net. They put it on the man's hands, and they let that
Go into
sit on his
shock
hands
every day.
for like 10, 15 minutes. The ant just biting his hands, so he cannot do anything. He can't bathe himself. He can't feed himself. He can't clean himself when he goes to the bathroom. he can do absolutely nothing. And they put him in a house with the woman that he's supposed to marry. When I was watching it, they put him in this woman's house. The woman said at the beginning, she said, like, I don't even like this man. I don't know why my parents did this to me, and I hate him, and da-da-da-da-da-da. About a month later, they came back and they spoke to her again. She's like, oh, well, he's a nice guy, and you know, he's funny, and you know, he's this, that, and da-da-da-da-da. Must be but 2 months after that, when they came there, they couldn't even call his name without her blushing. But that's a man she hated. And she told him, she said she can't wait to marry him.
Yeah, see, I mean, and I could understand that because you meet people, you know, usually when we meet somebody, we think in relationship is because of the looks. When you spend time with somebody and you get to know this person, the looks really, I won't say it goes out the door, but
I was going to say, I don't know where you're going from.
You create, no, but I'm saying you create attraction more on the person's personality. You see what I'm saying?
You can be friends.
Huh?
We can be friends. If I ain't attracted to you, I'm like,
but I'm saying,
we could be friends.
When I say, but looks won't be the precedence on whether you're going to be in a relationship.
No, because you can look good, but if you don't have the other qualities,
correct.
then it's still ain't gonna work.
So,
and then you could be an average looking person, and you could be.
What's average looking person?
Let's don't get into that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
I still have a lot of questions. I don't, I have a
the answer.
But again, how many times have we talked about people meeting online? Online now is one of the biggest things where people are meeting and getting into relationships, and it takes away the disparity of the sexual relationship because ain't none to be had, especially if you live in different cities or states, whatever else it is. So then there's that. And as far as looks are concerned, a lot of times maybe you could see a little something on the video chatting or whatever else like that, but a lot of the things that you would primarily have at your fingertips with the usual customs of dating, you don't have it. And a lot of people are talking about those things are definitely working. People are getting married off of these things. And you have to ask yourself, is it through the subtraction of the things that we deem necessary when we talk about getting involved and in a relationship? A lot of people, I need to
I have to
take it.
If I go to buy a car,
I need to see certain things, but if you eliminate those things, they seem to be lasting longer. So what does it tell us?
Let me ask you a question. Would you go and buy a car without driving the car?
No. Agreed, but see, I can't change. Listen, it's either VO5 or it ain't got that. See, with a man. D, come now. Let's be real. Eat it, have it, or it don't. But I think I can find out if it have it. So, but then you can build on chemistry, can it not? Either the car has the things, or it doesn't, or you have to go and customize.
I'm
saying www.customize.com.
I think the car just have to be like a good car. Like you got to make sure.
That's what I'm saying, Solid.
It don't have to be
got the framework at hand and the engine.
Yeah.
Flex. You can customize. You can put
you
G5.
don't want a good frame and no engine.
No. I ain't trying to Flintstone it. We ain't doing that. You know what I mean? I can
get on push.
No, I need that to purr. It's gotta make sense. No, sir.
I gotta run and stop.
So I can't. No. I like the Flintstones cartoon, but I ain't trying to live that life. No, sir.
So the only thing about that is you realize because you could have a car can't work without a good engine.
Exactly. So the fundamentals.
So the frames could be beat up in the woogly, but she's still running. But if she ain't running, you can't even driving.
See, because let's get back to it. A lot of times, because a lot of times people buy vehicles for how they look. Correct. It's shiny. It looks right, but the engine kaput. So at the end of the day, you have to deem what's good for you, what works for you,
and you can't see the engine without opening the hood.
Correct. Absolutely.
You don't go driving on the road.
No, but I could look at it. It still look because they got engine spray. You ever seen it, D?
Yeah.
You spray the engine look so crisp. Try go somewhere in the door.
Not happening.
So I still need to.
Yeah.
So it says, like a lot of people are talking about, I'm a relationship person, so I don't like being single. I like to be involved and sharing things with this special person. So I understand where a lot of people are coming from. Right now, being single, I feel like a fish out of water. See, so a lot of people, and that's the question that I ask, are we addicted to companionship? I know it's what's in us, But is that addiction to always have companionship? Is that the thing that's driving us more so than finding an appropriate companion and not just settling for companionship as a whole? Like for me, I have a thing, and some people have said that's an issue. I don't know if that's how it would be if you weren't within your marriage. Getting out of a marriage, for me, it was like getting right back into something else, because I wouldn't say that's who I am, but that's what I'm accustomed to. When you're already used to sharing your life with someone and having that one person,
You're very conditioned to that.
in a way. But you say conditioning, like, listen, you can't just use shampoo, you need condition too. So you need to keep it soft and flex. You say conditioning as if it's always a bad thing. I think a lot of times it is. But
I mean, I don't use it as such a bad thing. You know, it's just a matter of getting.
no, but I think
persons
when
to
you say it, a lot of
understand it.
people, it's like that word,
Oh, okay.
detachment.
Oh, gee.
Right? It's like a derogatory term. A lot of people hear it. And I think some conditioning is actually good. But we get back to the place again where, what are we conditioned to in our society? Because the Bahamas used to be a place where we used to be one of the places that had one of the better numbers as far as statistics are concerned with marriages that worked. Whether it was within Christian households or not, we understood the meaning of and the meaningfulness of marriage. And I'm not saying that, no, I actually am saying that people no longer abide by that. Even people that are married, I mean, people think nothing of having side pieces.
I mean, when reminded me before, he said, buddy, you ever buy a car with love and spare tire? I say, I know. He said, okay, then when you get married, you need to have a sweetheart.
Wow.
And I'm looking at him like,
and he dead serious.
No, listen to me. When I started the airport, a friend of my father said, when you work at the airport, you're gonna have 2 lives and 2 wives. That's what he said to me.
what?
You're listening to Global
That's what he said to me.
99.5 FM. This is Love Jones.
That's what he said to me.
431.
Because it's a, and I think it's like that in hotels, big hotels too, where it's a culture.
Yeah, they call it a dollar. Say.
You see what I'm saying? And that's what he said to me.
But I know-
Yeah, you
I
have
know
a
the-
situation at work.
I know defense officers do that a lot.
No, it not just them. It seems to be something that happens on
No, I mean, defense officers do that a lot because they have a wife here. And because they spend
island.
one on the island and one on another island, they have a wife over there and a wife over there. Not a wife, but they have a woman
But
there,
there's
a
officers
house,
on a whole do it because with the shift work and whatever else like that, it gives you a lot of
free time. so to speak.
time where you don't have to necessarily
Account.
explain. But people do, and even like I said, a lot of shift workers seem to be into it because I wouldn't say they're into it more than it just gives a more readily available opportunity because the explanation for time isn't there because
work.
who's to say exactly, and that's all you have to say, and that's what it is. I mean, so we now are making opportunities available for cheating.
No. You decide that you want cheat.
I'm
And
not
so
saying
you create opportunity
you
for
do,
that.
but I'm saying within the society, no one blocks an eye anymore. If you say you have a sweetheart, you got a side piece, anybody thinks nothing of it. It ain't no big. Before a time, you were wearing a scarlet letter for saying some foolishness like
Especially a
that.
woman.
What? You're a
Especially
woman and
a
you
woman.
talking about you have sweetheart on your husband? Old dirtbag.
Yeah, the-
Like you this was just not a nowadays. Child got 4 man. No big. No big.
What type of car you
No,
have?
it's not. It is nothing to be said about it. And
How
so
come you
you
no
have
more
to
good?
ask. Says the force she dealing with, but that's a different topic for a different time. What I'm saying though is we don't look at marriage and commitment the way that we used to.
Because
Matter of fact,
what does
like
family
before
mean to us
time.
now? What does family mean
Let's
to
be
us?
real. You both are out somewhere, and there are some women that are giving you the eye. They're interested. They come up, and they may say, "I have a girlfriend." So, real talk. Before
Yeah.
time, you say that. All right. then.
But no,
Listen,
my thing is,
And
I've
you
been in
say you
situations
married?
where They'll be like,
Gold ring.
"Well, your wife need anything?"
Mhm.
Be like, what?
Because I can cater to both of you. Like it's realness.
no, one like
we
me, you
don't
can't
live in
tell
the
me.
same scape
When
that we used
if I might say, well, I have a girlfriend, she's like, so I said, okay, you have a good evening. Because my mind already goes into if that's how brazen and upfront you are with me, and I telling you I have a woman.
Plenty.
What do you hear, D? There's really no good men left. Either they're in jail, they're married,
Oh, they're
or
dead.
or dead, or they're on the other
They're
side.
gay.
Right.
That's what you was gonna say, gay.
Right. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So that's what
they're
you hear. So
gay.
that's what's being fed. That's what's being fed.
Okay, but
You
the
know
thing
what I'm
is this, and I said to a young woman before, I said, the married men who are quote unquote good men, they were good men before they got married, weren't they? So all that means is that they found a woman that they think was worth the effort and the commitment, and they went into that. I said there are a lot of good men still out here. But if you go around thinking that all the good men are married, that means you're putting yourself in a position to be a hooker. Because you're going after people's husbands.
You just lost me there. But.
Whenever you say that H word, it's just me like
you can't say all the good men married or
But
dead. Or
I'm pretty sure you've heard that before.
I've heard it, and I had every time I heard it.
That ain't hooking.
Yes, it is. When you
That's-
sleep with someone else, when you're a hooker.
No, that ain't hooking.
What
What
is
is
it?
it?
That's just a lifestyle.
And there it is. Best mix of R&B music, home of the Steve Harvey Morning Show. We're Global 99.5 FM. This is Love Jones on a Wednesday.
I just took a turn to Apple.
I was totally expecting to go to Texas, and we took a turn. We went down a whole other pathway.
God damn, I was like, this is global.
No, but actually, what he said that just keys
Yes,
into what
that's
we're
true.
talking
That's
about.
true.
That's how a lot of people see it.
What he says, as amusing as it is to us,
It's real life for other people.
you have a lot of women out there only date married men.
It's this trope. If I don't know if you had before, but it's called people man.
Mhm.
So it's this whole thing about they only want people man, and like
I never heard that.
yeah,
Can't
so-
see where mine is.
people man.
Wait,
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
relax.
like his girls talking about
wait.
the regular dudes don't be there for me. When I get down, it's only people man.
Wait, 1 minute. I got you.
It's only
Hey, where you at? Because I hear this coming from and I just make sure
I make sure
you solid. Call that.
yeah. So it's
It's
that's so.
you don't think it's a game I said in this voice no live? This is not a test.
I was gonna say, if y'all take care of the age, I said that voice. No,
I just say no test. I say wait.
this is
People
not a
don't-
game.
Yeah,
No.
like that's like the ending. People man.
I know it is, and that's what I'm saying. It all ties back into boy. Wednesday just got real. It just ties back in, and I'm glad he said it. See, one thing solid and keep it real. It just ties back into the landscape of where we're at as a country in reference to what marriage is and isn't. And I think a lot of people are definitely now getting married because the consequences
Unless
are less. Before, when you got married, it's like, okay, I in this and I gonna have to make this work
Yeah.
because this is what it is.
But that's
I
what
don't
the.
plan on doing this again. Now it's like, well, I don't really
But see,
have
that's
to
the,
make it work because it's this little thing called separation, divorce, or
I know,
I
man.
just have another side, something going on while maintaining marriage.
But see, that's what the writer. That's what her parents.
Exactly.
They lived off of look. When
You're
you get
in.
married, it's a one-time deal unless your husband dies, and then that's it.
Or
And
he
Let me ask you
commits
something.
adultery.
And this just
Yeah,
came
he
to
commits
mind.
adultery.
You guys ever watched Divorce Court
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
man.
on TV?
Yes.
Isn't it funny?
Mike, hold on. Watch this.
Isn't it funny?
Let me-
The reasons that they have.
Hold on. Let me show you
It's
something.
funny.
But it's
Let-
fun.
Mike,
I say
let
it's
me- let
funny.
me-
We
hold
don't.
on, hold
We
on,
look
hold
at
on,
it and be
hold
like,
on.
we watch it for entertainment.
Absolutely.
We don't take it for the seriousness.
Watch
it is.
this.
And
Mike,
that's where we get back
Hold
to the
on,
video
hold on,
I told you I
hold
watched
on,
where
get
he
him.
said divorce is made to seem as if it's an easy transition, and that's why a lot of people are leaping towards it until you get into what's actually divorce.
But watch this. Remember on Divorce Court, it was on. I think I don't know if some. I don't know if they sent it in our group or in another group. I got it.
Probably
I
ours.
think I know you. The
Where
man
the-
who cook and all that stuff.
And she said he caused
Right.
me to get fat.
You want divorce man because he treating you too good.
Yes, he making me 4-course meals. He making dessert at dinner, and all I want to do is lay down
And
and
the judge
eat
was
the
like,
food.
"Are you
crazy?"
crazy? The man treating you too good.
Yeah.
So you want to divorce him for that?
Uh-huh. So I've gained weight and married
Yeah, no,
because
I
he,
saw-
he
I saw
cooking.
that. I saw that.
So-
Ridiculous.
So that's what I'm saying. People ain't getting the
And
reason.
then
I'm saying it's
we go back to it.
it's
So
entertainment.
is it that people are making divorce too readily available as an option, and it's
I
no
think so.
big deal?
I think so.
It's
That's
no
why I
big
say
deal.
I agree with
So
her
ain't nothing
parents.
funny and easy but divorce.
No,
I don't want people to get this thing twisted.
divorce could take years.
Not just the time, but now there's the severance of finance, There's the severance of 2 homes now with children and having the explanations that go along with that. Not just the one that comes on for PTA. Now and listen, ain't nothing easy about divorce, just like ain't nothing necessarily easy about marriage.
No.
My stepmother said, people don't go into marriage anymore with the concept of forever anymore.
For now.
You know what I'm saying? So she said when she got married is, I understand, ain't no other option. This is forever now.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the circumstances where you'd have to leave, but it's an easy option. Like, people know, let me bail at the same
I can just slip
time.
out.
Right.
And like now they doing the whole contractual type thing. Once I stay for 5 years.
Yeah.
I guess.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
And I'm
Not
good.
me.
That's the idea.
I just
I
put
think
it
you
out
start
there.
that.
Hey, like Dita say, you had a choice.
Yes.
No tell you sign it. Okay, thanks. Don't put it on me.
No.
No, I just see, baby boy.
It's not a celeb just had a contractor. Who was it? Janet?
It's a couple of them. It's now the thing where after 5 years, after 7 years or whatever, you can now revisit whether you want to maintain this marriage or you want to change the precepts that you've signed this contract under. The only reason why I put the contract forward, like I'm looking for something that gives accountability. And you would think the covenants of marriage within itself is accountability enough, but quite clearly and quite frankly, from what we've seen, it simply is not anymore.
And see that.
So you're looking for something else that actually keeps people understanding of the seriousness and that actually binds. And unfortunately, a lot of times, unless people have their monetary stuff to lose,
You're not gonna-
you're not happening.
Like that's why I'm saying, like with Nate's stepmom and her parents, I understand what Mike's saying, but in all honesty, I have to agree. My thing is, buddy, the man ain't beating you after that. Y'all two don't get along right now. Y'all was getting along a year for a whole year.
2 years.
Now that
before.
y'all 2 years, now that y'all live together and y'all legally obligated each other, now all of a sudden y'all have a problem.
Yeah.
Fix it. That's all it is for me. Y'all was able to fix it before. Fix it again, because it didn't make no sense. Like I don't. I tell you, I have 2 friends.
So you agree that people are giving up on marriage
Yes,
easily
I have 2 friends who have been married. They've been married each for about 3 years.
and they're ready.
The 2 are already getting divorced.
That's what I'm saying. You're ready to dip. So, but is it that, or is it that? Because we keep saying though that our people are trapped in situations that they don't need to be in. So, which side are we? What side of the bar are we on?
You was
Are
with
we
this
on?
person for 5 years before you get married.
I know people that were together. Literally, they was dating off and on together for more than what this one was 12 years, and they got married and got divorced within a year and a half. What was different?
Right.
What was different?
The only difference was you have now a legal obligation to this person.
Is it the fact
How long
that
were they living
people
together before they got married?
must be 812? So you didn't even
now-
have the title. So, but is it the title? Because you know sometimes when the title comes into play and the ring slips on hand, think people get a different air about
Could be
them.
that.
A lot of times it does.
Could be.
I hear men say, "Now you's my wife." You know what that means?
It's about to go down.
It's about to go down. Things change. You's now my husband. You're my
No,
boyfriend no
long
more.
ass, long ass.
Husband.
There you go.
Yeah. You don't have a name anymore. Your name as you knew it. Now, yeah. All your ID and thing now have husband. Husband fountain. You don't have a first name. You don't hear husband Stubbs. You don't have a first name anymore. It's what it is. They don't refer to you as nothing else. Tell us why I already talking my husband. No wonder.
It's like, hey,
No, no.
could you write for belief?
I
I have
haven't.
a legal name.
Husband. We changed that. You didn't know, but I went down to the place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, husband.
The registered general's wife.
Thanks.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Your first name is Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
Mike.
Oh, wow.
Right? So that's what we're doing. So a lot of people are saying that the problem that comes into play as far as marriage is concerned is now people with what that title is, people get these things in their mind of what they're entitled to that comes with the title and things that are changed. And that is what changes the landscape of the relationship. All of these expectations and all of these things that come in line with what it is to be husband and wife. I don't know, but whatever it is, it seems to be definitely ill affecting us in our relationships. I agree that in some cases people trivialize divorce, and which is why people, like with divorce court, people watch it and say it's funny. It's no big deal.
It's for entertainment.
It's hilarious. It's entertainment.
Yeah.
So people look at it and say, how big of a deal could divorce be? And they don't understand the emotional
Right.
and the other effects of what it has. And it doesn't just affect you; it affects the family at large.
No, because I honestly, what if I turn to it, because it's something that's funny.
Right.
And look at the people in the courtroom; they're killing themselves laughing.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
what it is. And so again, we trivialize it as we do trivialize marriage. You know, we see these things, unfortunately, not just average folk, but you see people that are held into higher planes. We see presidents that are
Shows like
cheating.
The Bachelor.
Yeah. Not only that, we see presidents that have cheated on their wives. These are people that are held in high esteemed places. Pastors, preachers, basketball players, musicians, you name it. These are people, counselors of marriage. Senators, people that are supposed to be guiding people towards the benefits of living morality, right?
The persons who so-called guide us.
Exactly. Those are the persons that are
We
committing
look
the
up to
atrocities.
for answers.
And these are the people that are doing these things. And so when you take into account all of these things, you know, it's interesting that we have any marriages that still are holding firm. You know, and kudos to people that are still making it work, because it's no easy task. So we're back here again. What do we say? What do we say? Because her thing is now with going against, because at the end of the day, she still could go ahead and get divorced. That's up to her. But she's saying that the ramifications thereof.
What ramifications? When you say ramifications,
family.
what the family
parents.
says, what they think,
that has something to do with it. And she says herself on
because of her beliefs.
Her beliefs, as well as far as she knew, she had it together. She cannot think of a just reason outside of the fact of the bickering why you could get divorced. She can't sit down in front of a lawyer right now and say,
and give a reason for it.
He's done this, he's done that, or I'm doing this. What is it?
Let me ask you something. As far as the bickering is concerned, so they go back and forth.
Yeah, they argue, but it isn't about anything of, like I said, issues of disrespect. Financially, things are okay in the home, so they're not arguing about finances. They're not getting along. The commonalities that seemingly existed before are not present. They're having an issue with finding common ground, and therefore romance and the physical things are being affected by those things. And so I think her thing is she's just waiting on things to continuously get worse, because they started off as minute as dropping drawers on the floor and whatever, and now they've increased up.
So let me ask you something. Let's say, did she mention the pet peeves, like what she has issues with?
No, she just said everything started off very small. We talked about that, the caps of toothpaste, or a little argument here and there,
leaving the toilet seat up.
Or leaving the toilet seat up, or when they argue, she's just like, look, just don't say nothing. And he's like, what you mean don't say nothing? We can whatever. Yeah. Or other times when, you know, he doesn't want to be bothered and she wants to go through with whatever it is that they're dealing. So they cannot seem to just find a ground in which they in agreement with and make it work. There's continuous strife within the home. And she says this is not what she envisioned marriage to be. And therefore she wants out.
I would suggest, and I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from, she take control of the situation as far as when they do have arguments, when they do have disagreements. She doesn't have to, you know, she could still lead in it. If he has something to say, just say, okay. I mean, you know, with the toothpaste, put the toothpaste cover back on, you know. I'm just saying, I mean, you have to be the, and I always say, be the example. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a tough pill to swallow. I understand that. And it's going to get frustrating. But listen, Candy, trust me when I say.
I'm sorry for laughing, Mike. I laugh because I can't Facebook.
No, but because here's the thing. She's only going to frustrate herself more.
And make matters worse.
She's only going to frustrate herself more. I mean, if she
the only thing I thought about when you said that was when the cap go down the sink and then things is.
You know.
I hear what you say, Mike, but the issue, I get where you're coming from, but, you know, speaking from personal experience, did it? And when you look, time has surpassed and you're still not You're not happy. But at the end of the day, I understand that marriage is commitment and a serious one. I understand that you don't always get to skip through the field of daisies. I understand that, and it is not always about that. You have to dig in for the long
yeah,
haul.
but Candy, I'm not saying
But-
this for her for marriage, you know. I'm
must
saying this
be
for
happy.
her, for her
But the-
peace of
but
mind,
the thing
for
is,
her.
the thing is, Candy, you tried for almost 2 decades.
Agreed.
It's been almost a year. It's been about a year, give or take. So I'm saying, and I agree with Mike. Like, just eliminate some of the obstacles. If the toothpaste is off, put it back on.
Back on.
If he drops it on the floor, pick it up and just say, "Babes,
If it's
try
a
it on."
buy your own toothpaste. And when it's toothpaste, throw it in the garbage.
If he drops his drawers on the floor, to pick up and say, "Babe, can you
Buy
try to remember to put this in the garbage
Yeah.
in the bin, please?"
the delivery.
And just right. How you say, my mom always told me that, she said it's not what you say, but how you say it. And sometimes those little things can create unnecessary tension. And so if it sounds like they're both trying to
It's a
be the
tug of
leader,
war for
right? Be
power.
the leader, be the control factor in the relationship. That's what it sounds
Candy,
like.
I ain't trying to disclose too much, right? But if she complains that I wear too many clothes,
Mhm.
so when it's time to wash,
It's a power
Stop
glove.
wearing drawers.
that's an
This
idea.
solution was brought to you by Glove Jones on a Wednesday. See that? Just as easy as see the bell even ring.
So because
That was Candy and Mike moment. I wasn't in that.
But I would just it's time
But
for
let me tell you what I did. She was complaining that I wore too many clothes.
Right.
When it's time to wash,
It's
most
a-
of the clothes
it's
in
a
the
lot.
washer was mine.
Right.
What I decided to do was separate my clothes, and I washed my own clothes.
Problem solved.
Problem solved. Then she comes, she be like, "Well, you want me to wash your clothes?" No,
No, I got it.
I got it.
My mom.
I got it. I good.
And that's and in all honesty, that's what happens. When you now alleviate the problem, now they feel left out of the loop.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, as a wife, I wouldn't want my husband's clothes outside of the clothes that are being washed. I feel like I'm not doing something that I'm supposed to do as far as what a
But
wife.
you know why? Because in there.
I know that, but what I'm just saying is, but those unreasonable feelings, he solved the problem. But those feelings that I have now of inadequacy because I'm not doing what I
Whose fault
should
is
do
that?
as a wife, it's mine. But I'm just telling you how human beings work.
Nobody cares.
Of course I do, because she want to wear clothes. But
She knows
stop wearing
clothes.
drawers. Listen, we're over time.
Okay.
I just want to 2 in 1 go. We're dying on a roll. I just want to leave with this question though, as to her, because we've opened up so many different things for thought, but I leave it to this: did you get married for the right reason to begin with? And a lot of times when you work your way from that and come forward, you may have gotten married because you felt like your own way to have access and to have the kind of sex life that you wanted and the things that were necessary being in such, a religiously backed type family. This was the way to do it. And now that you've entered into that, it was not all that it was cracked up to be. And now probably the bickering and not getting along is because you both signed up for something that you were not prepared for. But at the end of the day, here you are. You must have found something that led you to the pathway of marriage. So I would say before giving up on that, go back to the place of where you were when you started and try to find out the reasons why you did. Why was one attractive? What was our push towards getting married? And if you can find some fundamentals of stability to start from, then work your way out from there. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times when we're in bad places, we forget why it is that we got in with this person to begin with, because all of the other nasty things cloud those things. If we can remove that cloud of smoke and get back to those positivities, a lot of times we can get back to a better place within ourselves as well as our marriage. And then and only then, if it doesn't work, then you can revisit that. But at the end of the day, your parents have lived their life. Your family is living their life. You have to be able to constitute that with God. Do you understand what I'm saying? And if you feel as if that you can do that, then that's on you. But don't have that, and then because then you're going to have a resentment towards your religion. You're going to have a resentment towards your family. You're going to have a resentment towards the covenants of marriage. And that definitely is not something anybody wants. Anyway, that does it for us. Ask yourself, to companionship, are you getting involved for the right reasons? Are you looking at marriage and divorce as something other than it is? We really have to start looking at something because things are in quite the state within our country, as well as on a global scale. But that does it for us. We'll be back tomorrow talking about some other things. You can watch the video a little bit later on our Facebook page and become a friend as well. And I can't wait to see what's going on in Chatter. But that's it on the very best mix of R&B music, home of the Steve Harvey Morning Show, Global 99.5. This was Love Jones. Thank you, Magic Mike, as well as Brother D. A pleasure as always. Appreciate the presence. The Solid for making sure the production is going well on the other side of the fence. And all of our viewers as well as listeners alike, we thank you for continuing to support the show. D!
Wiggling! Government chance.
Global 99.5 FM. Remind